I'm gonna keep it very honest with you guys. I got on YouTube because I noticed that there's a massive hole in this spiritual space, right, in this community. If you were to see me in person, if you were to meet me in real life, you wouldn't think I'm with any of this stuff. You wouldn't think I'm someone who, you would probably just be like, all right, his energy is different, right? Something about this guy, that's probably it. You wouldn't assume I'm out here, talking about any of this stuff. And the reason for that is because I make sure things are balanced. I try to balance both the physical and the spiritual. You have to. Let's say you're out on a night out with the wife, and another man walks past her and he looks and he likes what he sees, and he just goes and grabs her. He grabs her butt. Are you going to peace, love, and happiness your way out of that situation? No, you're not. You're going to exercise your animalistic nature. We are in a world of duality, and you have to know how to control and use both sides. You can't be on one side and ignore the other. You can't be on the another side and ignore the other. You've got to learn to control and use both sides. Every human has the capacity for evil, and we all have the capacity for good. It's just about that balance. That's really what this spiritual journey is about. Being spiritual does not mean that you sit there and you just woo-woo all day, every single day. As a matter of fact, the guys who are just like that, me personally, I'm wary of people like that because, again, they're very one-dimensional. So you've got to be true spiritual individuals. They're playing the game completely, right? You've got to entertain the physical world because you came here, you incarnated here, and you also have to cater to your soul, right? That's very important. So I was asked this question: how do you transmute energy? And I said everything that I just said because transmutation is very straightforward, okay? You don't have to sit there. Yes, breath work is cool. Breath work is cool and it works, but it's not the end all be all. You don't have to do breath work. You transmute all day, every day, believe it or not. Transmutation, sublimation, these things are all about raising the energy that starts off in your root chakra and raising it to your higher chakras, right? Ideally to your brain, right? To the crown. Now, there's gross energy and you've got subtle energy. Gross energy is something physical, right? It can be measured, it can be seen, it can be felt, it can be touched. It's physical. When your semen is in your root chakra and it's activated, right? It's what you call an urge. You feel the urge, you're horny. That's a form of gross energy. The reason why people can sense that energy, right? Women can sense that energy, right? They're horny, they want the seed right then and there. It's about to let loose, right? It's about to spill. So people can tap into that. Now, it's not to say that when the energy is, in its more subtle form, right? Ojas and Jing, that type of stuff doesn't happen, but it's different, right? We'll talk about that later. In my case, I've got the energy to just start projects after projects after projects. I just feel like I can just keep going. I can keep starting anything. They say multitasking is bad, but I don't think they're talking about the retaining man because, yes, if you chase too many things, you catch none. But on this journey, you're going to have so much energy. You're going to feel the need to kind of line your day up with activities, right? And just things to transmute that energy into. So if you like to make beats, go make a beat. When you're horny, it's a sign to transmute, right? You've got a power. Horniness is a power. So when you're horny, it's a sign that you've got a creative ability right then and there. So transmute, drop down and do some push-ups. Breathwork is cool, right? But it's one of many tools you should have. One of my main tools, inversions. I do inversions when I feel like I need to transmute. I do this regularly, right? It's as simple as going upside down. One of my mentors kind of put it very simply for me, and it's funny how things tend to be, just simple. If you go upside down, the energy, the blood flows straight to your brain, 5 minutes, and you're gonna feel way different. So I can't do handstands, so I have an inversion table, right? And it's kind of interesting because people who do yoga, even guys, there's some guys that do it, their energies are really never, stuck in their root. They have something about them, right? Some aura. They're blissful, they're happy after their little, yoga sessions. It's interesting. There's something there. There are many ways you can transmute, right? You have cold showers, you've got inversions, you've got grounding, right? You've got your workouts. Imagine that you're someone who's, in touch with nature and you're doing all these things every day. Do you really think that urges are going to be like a problem for you? No, because you're taking the energy and converting it from its gross form into its most subtle form, and then you're benefiting from it, right? And then you're seeing crazy effects. Most of the effects people see on semen retention, that's a subtle energy, right? The glow in your eyes, right? The glow in your face, right? The spiritual, metaphysical things. If you're standing across the street and someone breaks their neck looking at you, that's not because your semen's in the root chakra. That's a very sublimated energy, right? That's your subtle energy. That's ojas, and the people can feel it. This is a very spiritual occurrence, right? They're sensing your spiritual energy. It's nothing physical. And I've talked about this before. I'm at the line at the USPS. I walk in, people break their neck and look back. What is it? You know what I mean? They sensed an energy. They sensed my energy. It's ojas. This is very spiritual. Many of you guys who don't get results and you say that you don't see any results on semen retention, you don't ever see any of the crazy results, it's because you don't transmute. That energy sits in your root chakra. So you're not allowed to see anything else. That's how it works. This practice is kind of funny. It gatekeeps itself. If you keep the energy down here in your root, none of the spiritual stuff, the metaphysical stuff that you hear all the guys talk about, you're never going to experience any of that. You've got to raise your energy. You've got to raise the energy. It's not meant to sit down here in your root. The longer it sits here, the more guaranteed you can. I bet you right now, if you keep that energy in your root, you're going to nut. You're going to relapse, or you're going to have a fat wet dream. You know what I mean? It has to come out. So either you do something with the energy, or it's going to decide what it wants to do for you. Humans need to learn to see sexual energy and really just being horny as a power. When you're horny, you can manifest. When you're horny, you're actually more powerful. You know, Bach, Beethoven, Chopin, all these great composers, they call their work that we all know now, that's their seminated work. When you're horny, you have the ability to create something profound. That's why something as simple as you're horny, do push-ups. You're gonna bust out more push-ups than you would have had you not been horny. You have a boost of energy. That's called transmutation. This is how things work. This is how you want to manifest. This is how you want to move. So you want to lay out a bunch of things in your life that are really just a bunch of mini transmutative practices. You want to have a bunch of those lined up in your life. That's how it works, guys. It's straightforward. No need to get too woo-woo, looking for the right practice. You know, I need to breathe this way. I got to do that. It's simple. You're transmuting all day, every day, if you're doing things correctly. You can add certain habits into your life that are effectively going to make this journey completely easy for you. Those of you guys who struggle with semen retention and you keep relapsing, you keep wasting time, you guys are relapsing because your thoughts aren't in check. You relapse and you struggle with semen retention because you don't believe that it's something you can do. So everything that you manifest, everything that actually happens in your reality, these are things that you believe. You can consciously say that you want to stop ejaculating, you want to conserve your energy, but then you go behind a closed door, or you go on Tinder, you swipe, find the right woman. All these actions, you could have stopped yourself numerous times. You went through the app, you found her, you texted her, you met up with her. Throughout that entire process, you could have stopped yourself, but you didn't. Why is that? Your thoughts. You can tell yourself all day long, yeah, I'll retain when I want to, or I'll do retention when I'm ready. But until your thoughts are aligned with practicing something such as semen retention, you're not going to do it. So I created something. I took a lot of time and energy to put it out here for you guys. Check it out. This is going to change your life. If you're someone who's struggling with semen retention and you can't sit with your energy, you keep relapsing, we have to reprogram your mind. We have to reprogram your limiting beliefs and instill proper beliefs that are conducive to you holding that energy.